All right, this is a first impressions video for Horn. And the reason I'm starting this on the home screen is because Horn is a Zynga game. You see that stupid little dog on the corner of the icon for the game, and
it's in the lower right if you're looking at all the icons.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of junk on there. So Horn is a $6 or was it $7 game published by Zynga through their publishing partner program. And the reason this game's actually getting a lot of attention right now is because it's like a fully 3D, probably one of the best looking games out on the iDevices right now.
Mm-hmm.
The recording doesn't look as good as the game on the iPad itself, but that's just consistent for all the videos we make.
Yeah.
For Angry Birds, it's not a big deal, but
yeah.
for this game, it does. It looks quite a bit better on the iPad. But yeah, it's like a fully 3D world. The game has a lot of similarities to like a Zelda. Very simple puzzles. You get like a hook shot. I'm going to replay one of the levels that I've already beaten before. No, let's do... Sure, that works. It's kind of like a full open world exploring adventure game, like Zelda. And it looks great. It's got a decent story behind it, a lot of good voice acting. The combat is very similar to... what was that game? Infinity Blade. Yeah, thank you. And so like the combat's not active the way that I'm just running around right now and then I can start chopping at people like a God of War or a Zelda or something like that. You get into the combat mode and
so you can't really be attacked.
No, you
just walking around.
You can't be attacked randomly. No. So these items that I'm picking up, these little blue diamonds, these are the treasure Pygite, I'm not sure how to say it, that you use to upgrade your weapons. And you can also buy those. So in addition to the game being $6 or $7, there are also ways to spend money in the game on upgrading your weapons. Real money.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
So I just finished, I'm at the 33% complete mark. And I don't know what that means in terms of like replaying, because Infinity Blade had an interesting design where they basically made you play the game over and over and over again to get 100%. All right, I'll show off the combat. So you just walk up to the dude. Like Infinity Blade, you can roll left and right. Whoa. And then you can roll behind him, find his weak spot on the tail, swipe around a whole bunch, and start to knock the armor off his weak spot. And just like Infinity Blade, I'm just swiping back and forth. There's not a lot of... Like, if I swipe left or right, he'll do an attack that way, or if I swipe up and down, he'll do an up and down attack, but it doesn't really seem to have any impact at all.
Is there combos or anything?
No, there's no combos. Like, the main interesting combat gimmick is that every enemy has a weak spot, and you have to kind of knock the armor off of that weak spot to start doing a lot of damage to him. There's also some, I don't even know if you call this a collectible, it's just these dudes flying around, extra challenges. Shoot them, whoops, come on. And you get a little bit of extra money to spend on upgrades. So you just tap on the ground to run there, unlike Infinity Blade where it's more of a mist style, where you just click forward and then you walk forward and then you scan around the environment. And then this is basically the caliber of puzzle that they throw at you in the game. There's a glowing thing up there, and you shoot it, and it gets that dude's attention. And he loves beehives.
He loves beehives.
Now he moves out of the way, and he just stands there and looks at the beehive.
He's
like,
that's
the equivalent. Like, that's as good as the puzzles get in this game.
So is this like a dungeon or Zelda?
Yeah. Yes. So in this first world, let's take a look at the menu. Cuthbert, there are 6 of those 6 rooms that I have to clear, and I haven't gone past this yet. But I'm assuming there's 18 dungeons because I'm 33% on the way through the game. And all right, here's the next level of challenge. you shoot the little thing through the fire to catch the next thing on fire. Like, if you've ever played a Zelda game before, you've seen these challenges a million times. I haven't seen any block pushing puzzles yet.
Oh, those are
pretty essential to a good Zelda game.
Would that work for this style of control?
I don't know.
Seems like it'd be kind of frustrating.
Yeah, it could easily be that. But they throw a lot of these things at you just like, oh, you can click on that thing and jump up, but then you have to slide your finger up just a little bit to make him crawl. And like, that's the level of complexity. I mean, if you ever played a Zelda game before, you're not going to be amazed by anything in this game, other than the fact that it's on the iPad and it looks really good.
Yeah, the art style reminds me of Fable.
Okay, yeah. I like that art style.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good. Whatever. Don't need to kill everybody. I'm just trying to get through this level to show off the environments a little bit.
So is it worth upgrading anything?
Yeah, definitely. It makes a big difference. Like, I can show off the upgrades right now. It just costs more when you do it in mission versus outside of the mission. So this is the default sword that you start with. I put a couple attack upgrades into it, and you can see at the bottom, I don't have enough Pygite to upgrade to the next level to get from 130 to 200 damage, which is a pretty big jump. But this weapon I have been using is this axe, and I can go from 155 to 295 for a whole bunch of that Pygite. Make sure I have that equipped. But there's also like amulets that you can upgrade to get extra health or increase the light. I'm not really sure what that does. You can also just forge all these other different amulets, and there's like blueprints hidden everywhere. Like, there's a ton of different
and you can
blueprints to find.
Have one equipped at a time.
You only have one equipped at a time. So you can see there's like a couple different swords that I can upgrade right away, but then there's 5 or 6 more unlockable ones that I haven't even found yet for all these different kinds of weapons. Scythes. You only have, it's strange. They have so many different weapons, but you can only do one at a time. And they have different skins that you can unlock. And of course, the in-game purchases. So you can spend, I think this is just $1 for a 3,500 Pygite and 20 cores. Yeah. So that's not very much.
Yeah, that wouldn't even get you that upgrade.
No. So yeah, what did I need to upgrade? I needed 17,000, which is 12,000 more. So let's see what that would cost me. And I'm still relatively early on in the game. So 12,100, that would cost $3. So for a game that I already spent money on, I don't know. It's weird how they're already kind of integrating that stuff into the game. But because it has this kind of dungeon structure where I can replay these levels anytime that I want, I can grind through these levels over and over again if I wanted to. Not that I want to or am going to, but that's a possibility if you don't want to spend the money on it. Yeah, there's this weak spot right in the butthole.
So how many hours did it take you to do 33%?
That's a tough question because I had to spend a whole bunch of time trying to figure out how to record this stuff, and I played through the whole. To get to this point, I'd say maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. If I was just
so
like,
it's not as long as a Zelda game.
Fucking dog hair in my mouth. No, not nearly as long as a Zelda game so far. But that's there's still a ton of things to unlock and find. So I really don't. I haven't got to the point in the game yet where I will know like where the end game is and like where it starts to get really grindy and just playing through it over and over again. But so far, I'm liking it. It's an interesting project that looks incredible on the iPad. And if you're looking for an adventure game I'm hoping the combat gets a little bit more complex. Like I said before, there's not a lot of strategy to swiping at these dudes. It's just up or down and then roll out of the way. Oh, and jumping. I forgot about that. Oh, I missed the attack to do while I was jumping in the air. So some of the enemies, they'll throw those ground slam attacks at you, and it'll prompt you to jump and then do an aerial attack. And I mean, these enemies, they just telegraph their attacks so openly that it's rarely a challenge.
Yeah, you think this game would be better suited for like, or at least what might be more fun would be like Final Fantasy style, where you have time to think about it,
Turn-based?
and you don't have to actually be good to like pull off the move. You just have to cue it up.
You have to be smart about what moves you choose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the other kind of mechanic that I've already become very bored with is they'll throw these. Oh, this is interesting. You're shimmying across a cliff, and if you do it too fast, let's see if I can get him to fall. I didn't even get him to fall. Like it says during one of the tutorials that like, oh, if you do it too fast, whoops, didn't want to go that way. Then he could fall, and then it gives you this stupid little thing where you have to like push him back and stay on so he doesn't fall off. And I mean, just these really simple mechanics that they seem way too impressed with that they just throw it at you over and over and over again.
Hey, there's the thing you're looking for.
Yeah. So that little thing I was looking for is 1 of 6 for this area. But because I'm redoing it, it's not really advancing the story.
You already have it.
I already have it. I'm just replaying it. Oh, so I just saw another... Oh, don't go right into the fight yet. So I saw there's a hidden core. But I have a whole bunch of them, so it's not like finding this is like finding a heart piece in Zelda, where it's monumental. That's the level of hidden items that I've found so far in the game. And so far, it doesn't seem like there's anything much better than that in terms of interesting things to find. So because I did the aerial attack and then hit him, he got stunned for a couple seconds. Oops. Let's see, where's his weak spot? Right in the front. And I don't know if I'm just doing it wrong, but it does not seem to make any difference at all what direction I swipe. Oh, motherfucker. But it does a ton more damage when you do get to that weak spot and actually get to chop away at it. So it's worth finding those for challenge succeeded.
What do you get? A beehive.
I think I just did something secret. I'm not even sure. What challenge did I just complete? So this guy loves beehives, so I shoot the stupid beehive. And then I get the core. Or not the core, whatever that orb thing is. Yay! Okay, and that's basically Horn, except there's a lot more dungeons like this, and I don't know. It's an interesting adventure game for the iPhone and iPad, so I wouldn't recommend going out of your way to buy it unless you're looking for something specifically like this, just because of the price and the in-game purchase system. Like, that seems a little much for me, but yeah, if you're looking for something like this kind of game, it does it well.
Cool.
All right, game on.
Game on.